Now, welcome to another weekend ramble, where this time the topic is going to be...
Whatever Thor says.
Why do I got to pick? You always pick.
I think you suggested it this week, though.
I suggested talking about Kathleen Kennedy because...
Hiss. Boo. Hiss. Not for the topic, but for other.
No, I know. Your little facial expressions and motions with the hands, like you're shooing away a vampire.
Aren't I, though? Have you seen her in the daytime?
She did suck the life out of Star Wars, didn't she?
She is really
Yeah, has anybody ever seen her in the daytime?
I think she would burn if she goes to the side. Or maybe if you douse her with water, she would melt. I'm melting.
What a world. Yeah,
the blight upon Star Wars.
Wow, tell us how you really feel about Kathleen Kennedy.
I think I did.
So, I think we're going to talk about the rumors again. Because there's always rumors. There's been rumors since, I think, The Last Jedi came out about Kathleen Kennedy.
Since she came into the company and made garbage?
No, that's the funny thing is nobody really, I mean, not nobody, but a vast number of fans, I would say, didn't really have much of an idea who she was until probably after The Last Jedi. I think that's when the name kind of became very familiar.
During the Force Awakens when she started running around yelling the Force is female with her shirts.
Well, she didn't really run around yelling it with shirts. I mean, let's be fair.
That shirt foam got a lot of miles.
It gets a lot of views. I think it's been in more videos than any other image in the history of Star Wars. No, I mean, I think if the sequels had gone really well and everything was running smooth with Star Wars, I don't think everybody knows her name.
But on to what the rumor is. The rumor is she's not renewing her contract, or it's not going to be renewed.
Well, yeah, they could be one and the same kind of deal, right?
It could be allowing her to bow out gracefully rather than her being fired.
Yeah, I've said every time I talk about this topic 50,000 times before, and for the last 5-6 years, I always say she's not going to be quote-unquote fired publicly. There's going to be no public execution.
Her.
No, she's going to go with a lot of fanfare, all the pomp and circumstance that quote-unquote she deserves. She will be celebrated on her way out. That's why I actually thought there was a solid chance that Celebration would be her kind of like
announcement
bye.
of
I'm leaving, and this will be a kind of her celebration.
Yeah, but you
farewell.
know what? She wouldn't have wanted to say that in front of a crowd at Celebration.
Well, when people cheer,
we'd be like, "Yeah!"
That would have got the biggest cheer of the weekend. Well, then, I mean, it kind of turned out to be the opposite at Celebration because she announced like 3 new movies that she's, quote unquote, in charge of, and
quote unquote.
Yeah, there's a lot of quote unquote.
We're not one of the channels who says every other week that she's been fired. So.
Well, no, I mean.
We wait till we get a more decently sounded rumor, to then come out of the woodwork and be like, I told you she was going to be fired.
Well, the thing about this rumor is it's not so much, I mean, I have no idea if it's founded in anything other than somebody on the internet decided to post it somewhere and say they have sources within Lucasfilm. But the thing about it, it's one of those rumors, again, quote unquote, that kind of makes logical sense. Like, she's going to retire eventually. She's 70 years old.
Yeah, we're really just waiting. It's a time game. We got to be right eventually.
Yeah, eventually you're going to be
Even
right.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah, so, and I know there's going to be a lot of celebrating when that happens, or people are going to be like, see, I told you. Like, no.
I've been stocking fireworks.
Really?
No.
Like, here's the thing. I've said it before. Like, I don't personally hate Kathleen Kennedy.
No.
I just do not appreciate...
that she's not been
the greatest president of Lucasfilm.
Correct.
And I think the part of the reason is she's not exactly, as I've said many, many times before, she's not exactly the biggest Star Wars fan in the world, right?
Instead, she's just kind of superimposing her ideas of what Star Wars could be over what Star Wars is.
Well, yeah, she's kind of prioritized what she wants to use Star Wars for rather than what Star Wars should be. She has had this idea, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad idea, but certainly to push more female characters into the franchise, because on the film front, they have not been necessarily as prominent as maybe they could be or should be. I mean, we've had great female characters in the films. We've had plenty of great female characters across the EU into something like Clone Wars with Ahsoka. So I think that's where the frustration has always been with the push for the female character, kind of telling you, like, you have to have them because you haven't had them. And we're like, well, wait a minute.
Like, we have had them?
We have had them, and they've been fantastic. And then you gave us a subpar one and kind of told us, if you don't like her, you must hate female characters. You know the drill. You know how this goes. I don't need to go into it.
It got weird,
again.
but...
Yeah. So that's what the frustration has been all about with the fans. They're told you hate female characters when they've always loved female characters. They just don't like this one because she wasn't extremely well done.
But you can't dislike one without disliking the whole anymore. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. A rejection of the character is a rejection of the message. That's what it becomes with Rey. Like, if you don't like her, it must be because you don't like what they want her to represent. And I don't think anybody cares if there's great female characters in Star Wars, right?
Well,
Nobody cares.
It's like nowadays,
Nobody's against that.
If you say that you didn't like Finn in the Star Wars saga, it's because you're a racist, not because he was actually a really underutilized character that they had all this potential for and they just dropped the ball with. We're saying that they wrote him bad, not that he's bad.
Yeah, but it puts the blame on the fans who don't like him, right? Well, we didn't scrub. You guys just don't like him because he's black. Like,
no,
what?
That's not why we don't like. We love Lando.
Yeah, Mace Windu.
Mace.
I mean, again,
sit down, Master.
No, we can't say there's been like a ton of black characters or whatever other race you want to go with. I get that. I get the argument that way, but just because you don't like one character of a certain sexuality or race or whatever it might be doesn't mean you reject that entire thing. I've pointed out the example before. Anakin, played by Hayden Christensen in the prequels, was certainly not well liked by all fans. He is hated by many fans, or at least was back in the day.
Absolutely.
Nobody would have dared say that's because nobody wants a white man in a movie, right? That would have made no sense. And yet, he's probably received more backlash than most other characters, short of some of the sequel trilogy characters.
Yeah, everyone loved Baze and Sherritt.
Yeah, I don't think, if the character is well written and if they're good, I don't think most people care what color or gender
Andor.
or anything they are. Yeah, Andor is a very diverse cast.
Mon Mothma, Genevieve O'Reilly is fantastic.
She's one of the best characters in the Disney era of Star Wars now. It's funny because it's very selective, right? It's like, well, nobody ever says anything about Giancarlo Esposito, right?
I think he's great.
Yeah, everybody loves him.
Nobody is talking junk about him except this last season where, again,
he was
wrote
bad.
his
He was written
character
poorly,
bad.
yeah. Everybody was excited.
Wrong.
No, nobody cares about what he looks like or what his race is.
No, it's all about the character, and they did his character dirty again.
Yeah, and that is in no way to dismiss anybody who is racist again. Like Moses Ingram, for example. Like, I'm sure there were some people who sent her bad things, and we don't want to just sweep that under the rug and say that's okay.
No, that's still not okay.
But I would imagine the vast majority of people didn't like her because they didn't like her character, not because of anything about her.
Kathleen Kennedy, though, I think I don't like as a person.
Yeah, we got off topic, but it is a weekend ramble, so it's okay.
I don't like Kathleen Kennedy, not because she is a white woman, but because she doesn't know what she's doing with this franchise that she has inherited. That she's taken custodianship of. That she's letting the fans down by turning a blind eye to things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think letting Star Wars be an agenda-pushing machine rather than a story-focused machine.
Yeah, that's the big problem. Like, you go back to her interviews in 2014, 2015, before the films were even coming out, and she's talking about how important it is to get women in the forefront of Star Wars, which, again, I don't think anybody disagrees with that, but I don't know that is, like, the key element that you need to be focused on, right? That is certainly something you can...
Gender is not supposed to be the important issue here. It's the character.
Yeah, exactly. So when that became your most important thing rather than telling the best possible story, well, then we have a problem. And now we've come...
Yep. And now they're making everybody talk about it. Now everybody has to talk about, is this, we have a new movie or we have a new this coming out. Well, who's the star? It's a woman? Oh, it's because it's woke.
Yeah, that I've said...
We don't even give it a chance anymore because they've proven time and time again that they're more concerned with pushing genders and race and sexuality more than they are about telling a good story. You gotta start from the basics and then move from there.
Yeah, I've said before, it's the push for more female characters has almost done more harm than good because now you have, a certain crowd that anytime a female character is announced basically or shown to be prominent in any sort of role, and it's immediately woke when probably isn't, right? Not probably, but there's a really good chance it isn't. Just because it's a female character or whatever it might be, doesn't mean we automatically have to call it woke.
But this is what has happened under Kennedy's rule.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's not just a matter of a Star Wars thing, right? Mm-hmm. It almost feels like it spawned out of Star Wars, and I got to ask...
It's because Disney's a big dog, and when Disney does something, I think a lot of studios take note and will try and follow suit. But now they're starting to realize this business model of theirs is not working because you have to do story first.
Yeah.
I think this is why Apple TV is starting to do really well. We've watched, two and a half, three shows now on Apple really TV, and they've been phenomenal.
Yeah.
We watched, Silo?
Silo was great.
Silo was great. We watched...
Severance.
Fantastic. Oh, my goodness. The cliffhanger at the end of Season 1. I won't spoil anything.
Well, both of them have a pretty big cliffhanger, to be honest.
Silo and Severance, really good. And we've started Foundation.
Yeah.
Also very interesting.
Yeah, and they're you don't sit there and watch it and go, there's a political agenda here or that.
Look at the ideology. No, these are just really well done stories.
Yeah, and Silo has a lead female character, and she's phenomenal. I never once do I think to myself, oh my god, they're trying to make me think that women are all this and that. No, she's just a great character. She's a
real character. She has flaws. She has strengths. It's great.
Yeah, she's really well done. Perfectly well done.
That's why I wonder how Andor somehow slipped in during the Disney era.
Because they had nothing to do with it. It seemed like they're like, okay, Tony Gilroy's going to make us a show, and he made him a show.
And then they're like, oh, wait, people like this? And they get out their tally sheet. How many black people were in this? How many...
Yeah, we had a lesbian romance. It's perfect.
How much diversity cast was in this? Like, that's not supposed to be the forefront of your thought.
But it was a very diverse cast. That's the funny thing about it. It was a very diverse cast. It's extremely diverse.
But because they told a story first, everyone loved it.
Nobody cares. I didn't hear anybody talking about how diverse it was.
Yeah, because it was just good. In the universe, that galaxy is a diverse place. The real thing we were complaining about is where were the aliens?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest...
I think the biggest complaint is we were like, universe full of species, different species. We have like one alien speaking part, and everything else is done by the humanoids.
I mean, you can kind of get away with it on the Empire side of things, since they don't like aliens. They don't like aliens, so
they're xenophobic.
They are, which is fine. I think that's great.
About that, he knows.
But I mean, that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. That's fine. I actually like that they are, because they should be the bad guys. They should be having characteristics that we don't want to celebrate, right?
I was disappointed that the first planet they go to, which the name is escaping me at the moment, but in the very first arc, and I don't want to spoil things for people who haven't seen it, but there was a native culture there celebrating a festival. I was surprised that they were human too.
Everybody was human in that. I mean, it was
everybody.
If I had to point out one thing that I'm like, yeah, that I would change, it would be a few more aliens in there. Mm-hmm. That is the one downside of Andor. Because it does feel like a very human galaxy that happens to have a few aliens here and there. But Star Wars Galaxy, there are a lot of humans. They are the prominent species.
Yeah, we breed like rabbits, apparently.
Across the galaxy, yeah. Imagine if we got out there. We'd take that thing over. Fortunately, we're stuck here.
Well, do you have anything else to say about Kathleen Kennedy, which is what this
I think we kind of didn't talk about
call you
the
Kennedy.
Ramburglar. Oh, I could keep going. Like, you cut me off on something I was probably going to delve into for 5 minutes about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Because I had to get you back towards Kennedy, because that's what we were talking about.
Yes. But no, I think this current rumor of her not renewing her contract, I think that is...
Sorry.
Do we laugh because
No, I got an image of... I'm Sailor Naboo, and here I am, standing aboard the pirate ship. Yar, I'm steering this ship back on course there, Thor.
What do you mean back? Oh, okay.
Because I'm a pirate.
Oh, I thought you were Admiral Naboo, hiding your ships on battleships.
No, now I'm a pirate.
Off the board and removing them.
Admiral Pirate Sailor Naboo.
I don't think
the Pirate Admiral.
That's kind of a nifty name, but...
Pirate Admiral Naboo.
But to get back on track and to wrap this up, because, again, I got way off topic, or whoever... We don't have to place blame.
Plus, we got memes to record for Monday, because we're doing it this week. We're back on track.
Yeah, you were a bit exhausted.
I was not good last week. I'm better now, so memes will happen again.
You work a lot. But no, to actually wrap this up now, I do think... I think there's a good chance that Kennedy will not renew her contract, whether by her own decision or by Disney's decision.
I think it's one of those situations where they said, we're not planning on renewing your contract. You have 2 choices. You can bow out gracefully when that time comes. If you put up a fight, yes, we will fire you.
Yeah.
That goes out then disgracefully.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to do that.
You get to choose how you end your career.
No, I think she wants to go out with her integrity intact, or whatever that's worth at this point, because a lot of fans don't see it as integrity at this point in time.
No.
But yeah, I think there's a really good chance, for whatever it's worth, that'll be the case. That 2024 will be, that's it.
The swan song of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, and I do believe there isn't a celebration next year, is there?
No, because they can't ever announce it as a celebration, because the cheering would just tear down the roof.
It would be the greatest Star Wars celebration of all time, because we would all celebrate. But no, I mean, that's all we got for you this time. Let's wrap this up.
Thank you.
So now it's your turn. Take to the comments below, and feel free to comment on anything we discussed in this video. We were kind of more or less all over the board.
You could send me fan art of Admiral
my God,
Naboo, the pirate of the high seas.
I'm sure somebody will send one in. You get a lot of fan mail.
Yeah, I need more cards for my game.
I know. That's gonna be a rare card right there.
Chase variant. Sailor Naboo. Arr!
Yes. Oh God. But anyway, leave those.
Yuna's my pirate bird. She's my parrot.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have a parrot. You'd have a
have
cat bird. A cat bird with wings or something crazy.
Yuna would like wings.
She would. We wouldn't. Oh, here's one right now.
Oh.
Speak of the devil.
Wrap it up before he gets here.
Yeah, otherwise he'll start crying in the microphone again and we'll have to do another take. Anyway, that's all I got for this time. Take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. Until next time, thanks for watching.